family of a teenager who has non-verbal autism say that she's been left traumatised after being removed from a shop by police.
19-year-old Katie Mitchell tried to buy a £2 DVD but became confused and upset when the shop said its tills had closed for the day. Now,
it wasn't the shop, it was Katie's mother who called the police to de-escalate the situation. She thought that that was the best thing to do. But as you can see from this, and I have to warn you, it's quite a distressing video captured by her sister. Things didn't quite work out that way.
Cops taking a child out of a video shop over a £2 tip that she couldn't get. Great PSNA of Northern Ireland. Used to be taking her up to the car. The car's the way around there up the town.
Yeah,
really
well,
Katie's... See, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very upsetting. Katie's sister Eileen is with us now, along with autism awareness campaigner and ambassador for the National Autistic Society, Carrie Grant. Nice to see you again, Carrie.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Yeah, I mean, with the best of intentions, your mother called the police, expecting them to come and calm the situation down, get everything sorted out. But as we've seen, it was kind of the opposite. We're not here to bash the police over the heads over this, though, are we? We're really saying that if they've been trained to know what they were dealing with, that wouldn't have happened.
Yes, exactly. It's just, I think, if you see the video, the police response, I think, has just been very heavy-handed. It's just got out of control. If they just spoke to my parents to understand that Katie is a very vulnerable person, she's non-verbal, she's autistic, she just doesn't understand what's happening. Yes, the till had closed, but Katie didn't understand what was happening, and it was just a lack of awareness and understanding, unfortunately.
How upsetting was all of that for you at the time when it was happening for your family, for Katie?
Even just watching that video now, it still has me very upset about it. But for Katie, it's been traumatic. She does not understand what's happened. In her mind, a few days before Christmas, she spotted a £2 Thomas the Tank Engine second-hand DVD and thought, nice wee present for Christmas for Santa, and just wanted to go in bed. And unfortunately, the situation just completely got out of control.
Because the shop was closing, so the tills had gone offline, so they couldn't accept payment. And I think the family said, well, we'll come back and pay tomorrow if we can just take the DVD today. But nobody understood, other than the family, understood quite the condition that your sister was in. Can you just describe it a little bit more to us?
Yeah, so Katie, she's a young teenager. She's non-verbal. She's severely autistic. She has the mindset of a young toddler. If you spend more than a minute in a room with Katie, you know that she's a learning difficulty. She's her hands in her ears and would make wee noises. But she loves Thomas the Tank Engine. It's just something that she really loves. And she just spotted this DVD and just a few days before Christmas, and because she was in the shop and the lights were on, in her mind she could get this Christmas just a £2 DVD just in time for Santa. And
do you think if anybody with any even slight knowledge of autism or training about how to spot autism, she is a case that would be quite easily recognisable? You think, OK, this person has autism,
yes.
I can see it.
Because my mum tried to explain to the staff in the shop what was happening, and their response just to use quite abusive language and different things towards my mum. So then my mum, in the hopes of trying to de-escalate the situation, rang the police and asked for a community police officer nearby to come, hoping that they would know how to deal with the situation and have training and awareness,
have the right
particularly
methods.
Working with vulnerable people.
Kerry, I can see from your face, what's your reaction to what's happened here and how Katie was dealt with?
It's just appalling. I think it's just a lack of humanity, a lack of compassion. Even without training, you'd like to think that people have compassion for other people. But also police training, it's sketchy. That's the issue. There are police officers that would have handled that situation brilliantly, but unfortunately there isn't the training there. There's a 54-page document on the National Autistic Society's website just for police. What you might be looking for, how to handle a situation, how to de-escalate. It's not rocket science. And for £2, I mean, that's also the question. If you're a staff member in a shop, just volunteer your £2, for goodness sake. I mean, let her have the video, for goodness sake.
The thing, isn't it?
Right?
Do you think in general there's enough understanding, there's enough awareness?
There isn't enough awareness, and there's also not enough awareness of the impact for children like Katie. verbal or non-verbal, actually. This could cause this, I don't know what it's like for Katie, but it could mean that that child no longer wants to go into the town centre. That might be their only connection with other people. They may not want to leave the house. They may not want to leave their bedroom. So the impact, the knock-on impact is huge.
So if the police who arrived had, in fact, received training in recognising and dealing with people who have autism, what should they have done? Just take us through the steps that they should have actually gone through. To be fair to them, had they known that,
Yes.
and had they been trained in dealing with
Yeah.
it?
I think, first of all, ask the parents. The parents know this child. They know how to de-escalate their child, so work with them. So it would be about getting onto wherever level Katie's, if she's laying down, being down there with her, using gentle language, not using complicated language like, well, the shop staff have got to leave and they've closed the tills. She's not going to understand that.
No.
It's more about saying, Thomas, oh, I used to love Thomas the Tank Engine. You get into their world, you enter into their world. Again, it's not difficult stuff. Being trauma-informed, being autism-aware, those things don't take a lot of training. It really is about just getting down on their level, speaking gently, and thinking to yourself, this might take 10 minutes rather than, I need to move this child now. You know, having that kind of uppity attitude doesn't help anybody.
Just a bit of patience and taking your time. Eileen, what reaction have you had since you... Because you made the decision, didn't you, to bring awareness to this, to put the video on social media. What reaction have you had from people?
The public response to this has been absolutely amazing. I've received thousands of stories from people telling me their own personal experience, sharing some of their stories with family members who have autism or friends. So it is nice to know that we're not alone in this. It does appear to be a systematic issue. I'm hearing stories time and time again, similar incidents with parents and family members. So it is something that definitely needs to be addressed.
And what happened to your sister immediately after she'd been manhandled out of the shop? And how is she now? I mean, does she remember what happened? Is it part of her consciousness, or is it sort of, you know, thankfully slipped behind her now that she doesn't remember it?
And because Katie can't talk,
You don't know?
we don't know. My parents did attempt to take her to like a local shopping area, and she got very upset about it, so we suspect it's going to have some very
But she
long...
does have a visceral memory of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even we don't know what impact it's going to have on her if she sees like a police officer on the streets.
Yes.
Like we've been taught, well, I have great respect for the police. They have a very demanding job, but I just think in this case, the situation was completely uncalled for.
OK.
I'm just
Well,
so
look,
sorry for her, and also, you know, from what you're saying, this is not an isolated incident then, is it? That actually this could be going on up and down the country for people who, you know, are in a vulnerable position, actually need help rather and understanding rather than
In
anything.
schools, hospitals, airports, it's not just police, it's training.
Well,
And I know you work as well, don't you, with, you know, sort of advice and training to help this, so well done
Well, you're
from
so
that
right
point
to
of view. And
highlight
well
it.
done for raising awareness
Yeah.
of it, absolutely.
We've got in touch with the police force involved. Lisbon and Castlereagh District Commander Superintendent Kelly Moore has told this programme, look, this was a very difficult and complex set of circumstances for everybody involved there. And I've spoken, she says, to the family to discuss their concerns. As an organisation, we are committed to continuous learning, and any feedback will be reviewed and considered. So if you take that at face value, hopefully something like that might not happen again in that police area.
This is it. This is why I've had to unfortunately share this video. I just want to raise awareness. I want to make sure no other family has to go through what we've had to go through. I just want to make sure it never happens again.
Yeah.
Okay, good
All
for
right.
you.
Thank you
Thanks
both very much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, 8:40, he said, as I speak. Yeah, still to come. You've already pledged...